stand? Will they fuck it all up or will they save the land? Treachery, vanity, loitering and worse. They are their own worst enemies. These fuckers only know curse. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons. Their powers combined, a group of fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? The odds do not look good. Authors and dragons! Authors and dragons!
Hey everybody, I'm John Hartness, and I'll be playing the role of Fendingo the Fantastical. Best damn looking bard you've ever seen. In real life, I write multiple series, including the Quincy Harker Demon Hunter series, the Bubba the Monster Hunter books, and the Black Knight Chronicles, as well as being the publisher of Falstaff Books, which is happy to announce that today, a week ago for y'all if you're listening to it on time, today is the release of A&D's Rachel Carr's brand new book, The Accidental Summoner. And it's contracted as a one-shot, so if y'all want a sequel, y'all get out there and buy a shitload of copies.
Hey everyone, my name is Rick Gualtieri, and I play Silas Kane, and I am the author of such non-existent titles as Your God Sucks, a Paladin memoir. Oh wait, that's somebody else's shtick. Never mind that. In real life, I write books such as The Tome of Bill, Bill of the Dead, Tales of the Crypto Hunter, and more. Go look me up. There's only so many Rick Gualtieris out there.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious rogue. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures. I've also written many of the books in our Shingles series. Go get those right now.
Hi there, I'm Steve Webberl, and I play Brandon Fymaster. The best Brandon Fymaster in all the multiverses, despite what others may have you believe. In real life, I write such books as Everyone You Love Will Be Eaten by Wolves, guaranteed to depress the fuck out of you. Go pick that up on the internet.
Hey everybody, I am the prime incarnation of the Infinite Drew, author of books such as Superpowers, Fred the Vampire Accountant, and the latest book in the Spell, Swords, and Stealth series, Noble Roots, which is available on audiobooks. I, too, have also written a Shingle story, or, 6 at this point. I can't match Bob, but I am in the latest Shingles audiobook collection, which just came out yesterday as of this listening. So, as soon as you finish up the episode, feel free to head on over to Audible and pick up our latest Shingles collection, featuring some awesome holiday stories, including one of my own favorites I've written, Holly's Jolly Christmas. And you know what you could theoretically do with that audiobook is you could load it up onto your headphones and play it while you journey to Charlotte, North Carolina, because as soon as we finish this recording, in your time, not our time, we will be leaving on a jet plane, or I don't know, maybe Steve had to leave earlier. I'm not totally clear on how long his journey takes. The point is there's a convention this weekend, your time, this weekend, coming up in a couple of days. Charlotte, North Carolina, August 19th to 21st. We have guests, we have shows, we have surprises, we have fun. And we have plugged the shit out of this for months, and we're still finding listeners who are surprised that it's happening, so forgive the repetition.
Honestly, that's the only reason we keep mentioning it. If we were confident that we just said once, look, there's going to be a con in August, be there, and everyone would be like, oh yeah, all right, they said that, I should do that. We just shut our fucking mouths. But really, there's somebody, you've been listening to these for about 6 months and just carefully ignoring us. And I don't know whether to respect you or hate you, but please go to the convention.
But you're the reason we have mid-roll ads.
Yeah, we posted a guest list on the A&D Facebook page, which you can also go join at any point, the other day, and several people were shocked to find that we were throwing this convention.
Oh my god, guys are going to be at A&D Con?
There's an A&D Con? I mean, I get it. I understand. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. It's hard to absorb this shit, but that there's a reason we do have to hit this at the top of every show, even if it seems preposterous. Also, Steve, how long does your trip in take? I'm curious.
Oh, well, I'm mailing myself there, Drew, due to budget
Ah.
restraints. So we'll see. We'll see how effective the U.S. Postal Service is.
Ooh, I have some bad news.
Steve is literally leaving tonight after we finish recording.
No,
Yeah.
I'm in a box right now.
Step 1, cut a hole in the box. Step 2, put a Steve in the box? That's just weird.
It's less problematic.
Make
I
sure you
disagree.
have an equal proportion of packing peanuts and real peanuts.
Oh, I did not.
But don't label them.
Yeah, I did not.
The surprise is half the
Oh
fun.
god, we're gonna be opening up Steve and at like AndyCon 2023 and be like, oh, this is what happened to him.
Ooh, we should have sprung for the refrigerated one.
On the upside, we will basically have our own Gremlin story to tell going forward. So there's that.
Yeah.
Well, when last we left our intrepid adventurers in the game, you were all collecting dimensional snails in your special snail sacks.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's
I was
not a
I
great
was
one.
in a bucket.
I want to hear about slimy snail sacks.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Fandango, because first off, please roll me an initiative. As you were stumbling around, you hit a rock and flung yourself forward. The bucket goes flying off, tumbling through the air, and slamming down directly onto Bjorg's head.
And I take over with an initiative of 22.
Oh, goodness gracious. For purposes of this, we will say that you have been able to hear everything inside the bucket. You know they are collecting dimensional snails in order to build the lightning rods for the dimensional storm, of which you're going to use to try and hatch brand egg. You have also heard their complaints
Toreg.
that this is, problematic to do. It's they're not having the easiest time with the snails.
You're coming out in a bucket fighting, man. Yeah.
I don't even think snails have scrotums.
Well,
And Fandango, top of the initiative is you, sir.
How many snails do we currently have?
There's a counter at the top of the map. You have 3 snails currently in the pouches.
How many snails do we need?
7.
Where would I find another snail?
You would roll a perception check. And in fact, I will go ahead and just repost the info in the chat, and I'll go ahead and do a quick reread. The doctor needs snails. Dimensional snails litter the cabin, hiding amongst the gems, absorbing energy from the ever-present storm around the island. To channel that power, the doctor will use their shells, so you only need to stow them in the provided satchel. But be careful, the snails will happily in their magical habitat, but react if improperly handled. Additionally, not every snail is stable. Attempting to grab an unstable snail will have unpredictable consequences. Perception DC to spot potential dimensional snail, 17. Perception DC to spot dimensional snail that is stable, 22. And then the sleight of hand / dex DC to safely move the dimensional snail into a satchel is 14.
Well, alrighty. I can probably screw up every bit of that. So let's...
also, we're currently under disco lighting, which I believe makes it easier.
Well, I rolled a 25 perception because I'm accustomed to looking at the world through flashing stage lights.
Well, no,
Perfect.
Brandon and I are under disco lights.
So, Fandango, with a 25, you'll get a pretty good lay of the cavern itself. You see Bjorg with the bucket, Klaus kind of fiddling in one end. You see that fairy fire has been cast across an area, which is making it easier to spot snails in there. But with a 25, we're going to just say that you spot a dimensional snail right over here.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go there.
All right.
I finished fiddling last episode.
Well, we haven't seen your new action for this one.
Is it fiddling again?
It might be. All right, so the perceptions are taking the actions since y'all are having to look so carefully. So, Fandango, that brings us to Silas Kane, who has advantage while hunting for the dimensional snails in that area.
All right, I will hunt for dimensional snails while thanking my lucky stars that Clammy Hands Edgar's in here.
He's exactly the dude we need.
I mean, they're not turtles, man.
Yeah,
Don't-
but you know,
don't make it weird.
Yeah, but 21.
You spot a potential dimensional snail. You know, I named these things myself. I didn't have to make them so goddamn hard to say.
All right. Well, since I did my perception, I guess I have to wait for the next turn to grab it.
Yep. You have movement if you want it, but the
No reason to
perceptions
move.
are very careful. Speaking of, Gordon, you're up. I forgot about you.
So have we all.
As is his role. But this is like one of the few times you are actually pretty useful, Gordon. So let's throw out that perception with advantage. 24. Gordon has also spotted a potential snail. And Bjorg is bucketed. Klaus.
All right. Well, fairy lights are a crutch for the stupid. So Klaus is going to move down 1 square and search for dimensional snails in this area here.
Can you do the circle click? Where you like hold it down like this so I can see where you're talking about?
Oh, well, I'm talking about where my character is, yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So you are searching slightly to the north of the fairy fire area.
Correct.
All right, roll it up.
Perception.
Perception.
Klaus rolls an 8.
All right. You have not spotted any potential dimensional snail.
I've ruled out this area, fellows.
If you just moved 5 feet into the fairy lights, you would have had advantage and got a 20.
Oh, but fairy lights are a crutch for the stupid.
I'm saving that for the stupid people, yes.
Fair enough.
Well, Brandon Thighmaster, it is your turn to make a roll and see if you can spot any snails.
Okay, I've learned everything I want to know about snails. I believe that's going to help me in my endeavors. I will do a perception. 4. Did I remember to take my sunglasses off? I don't think I did. 12.
12's both ways across. Yeah, Brandon Thighmaster, you catch your reflection in the water, and your focus is fucked after that.
Well, only flesh and blood, Drew.
All right.
Hey guys, I think I see something infinitely more interesting than a snail. I'll keep reporting.
Yeah, we see that literally all the time, bro.
I know.
Klaus, put your dick in it.
You're going to grind up Brandon to make the dimensional thing.
Okay, nobody's putting their dick in and or grinding up Brandon. Back off, you slag.
I need at least a short rest.
The last time Brandon grinded on anything, the island sunk.
Yeah, so let's all be very careful.
Well, speaking of being careful, Fandingo, we are back at the top, and it is your turn to try and handle a snail. So you can just do sleight of hand. If it's trained, it'll work. If it won't, it all kind of works the same as a dex check. But the DC is 14.
Well, I do have sleight of hand trained, so that's a 1.
That is a very natural one.
Yes, it is.
You are still a little bit woozy from the bucket, and so you go to real quickly grab the snail, and instead you just slam your palm into it and smash the snail and obliterate it. And it releases several effects upon you as it dies. So I need you to roll a d6 3 times, and if you get any repeats, just re-roll.
All right. We've got a 3 and a 6 and a 1.
So you are teleported up straight up 10 feet, and then fall to the ground.
Ow. God damn it.
You feel your body starting to rise back up as the air shimmers, and a Fandingo who looks similar to you but not quite the same. His hair's a little more styled, his vest a little rougher, and, well, to be honest, it looks like he leaned away from the classic bard and went a more straight rock alternative. But he kind of sniffs, looks around. Oh, God, yeah, I got one of them, too. A little froofy, I suppose?
Roofy.
Would you fuck? There's another me. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Probably Froofy.
Well, we'll find out on your next turn, in which you will be up. You'll find out the third effect of that dice. Silas Kane.
All right. Sleight of hand to try to grab the snail.
Now, yours was a potential dimensional snail, I believe.
Yep.
All right. Yep, 21. Okay, so first the sleight of hand.
24.
Okay, excellent. Now roll me a d20 and guess evens or odds.
I'm going to go with evens. 4.
The snail is stable and your hand is steady. You guys now have 4 dimensional snails.
Whoop.
And that's how you do it when you're trying to hatch Tor egg.
We have 5. I'm just wearing one of them.
The snails do have to be captured alive.
Well, nobody told me that.
You were bucketed. It's hard to hear things under there. All right, Gordon, you have not trained sleight of hand, nor do you get advantage on this. But a 15 will snag a snail. The most useful Gordon's ever been.
Has he caught all of our snails so far?
No, Silas just caught one, and I'm pretty sure someone else caught one last game, too.
Oh, that was Bjorg, yeah. Oh, he's bucketed now.
Yeah. And Klaus, the man with probably the highest sleight of hand in the whole party.
Well, Klaus is nothing if not a man of science.
I thought you were going to say obtuse, but sure, a man of science.
Tested the waters. Perhaps it is easier to catch snails on land. So I'll move a space to the right, to the left. Circle marker there. And I shall search for snails here.
All right, roll me that perception.
Klaus rolls a 15.
A 15 does not do it. You do not see any potential snails.
I have ruled out this area. You're welcome, friends.
Brandon Thighmaster, you had also not spotted anything last round.
I'm going to keep staring intently at the ground underneath my feet. See what that gets me. For a natural 20.
Oh, yeah, there's one literally right next to your toe.
I was looking at my reflection and just thinking, I don't remember a snail being on my forehead.
Yeah, you don't know much, but you know your own body. And by God, when you look at your reflection in that water and you see a snail hidden on there, no, motherfucker, you know how those abs are supposed to crease.
That ain't right. All right, I'll get ready to pluck that bad boy in my next turn.
All right, Fandingo, you find your body rises up into the air, and you teleport back down and pull your hand back. Basically, you lose your turn as you replay your last in reverse. Luckily, going up into the air and then teleporting down doesn't hurt you.
Just in case anybody's wondering, don't wear the snails. Weird shit happens.
Way
Did
ahead
the
of
other me,
everybody.
did the other me vanish, or is the other me still here?
Yeah, so Cool Fandingo is
Hey!
kind of watching you, and he's like, you keep at it, bud. You'll find the music eventually. And then he kind of fades off.
Oh, I'm gonna have to find that guy. I have a quest, and if
Drew, whatever mission you had planned for us has been derailed. We're going to hunt down these fucking posers and have a word with them.
No, we're gonna hunt down the posers, and then we're gonna send them back to the well from the very first place we all met, and let them investigate the bottom of the goddamn well.
Motherfuckers, that's us having successfully investigated the well.
Oh my
If
god.
Klaus had only held his breath a little bit longer, that could have been us.
That's a turning point.
I feel like we're ripping off Bill and Ted now.
An alternate dimension where Klaus just held his breath a little longer and found the stone of competence.
Silas Kane, you're up.
All right, perception again. I have advantage in here, right?
That is correct, so long as you're searching within the fairy fire.
And
I
that
should
would be
check how long that lasts, but we should still be good.
That should be a 22.
Oh, then you have spotted a stable dimensional snail with a 22, I believe.
Awesome.
It's not... Okay, I'm using the wrong word. It's not fairy fire. It's something else.
Well, according to Klaus, it's stupid fire, so...
No, it is fairy fire. Son of a bitch, I just
Because
spelled
we
it
just
wrong.
keep finding the snails while he's, like, picking up rocks
It's
on the
not
beach.
stupid fire. It's fire to help stupid people. It's like floaties.
Okay, up to a minute. So we've still got a fair bit left on that. And speaking of Gordon, he's back with another perception. Throw on that advantage. Ooh, with a 14, Gordon does not spot anything this round.
Gordon, you're reliably disappointing.
Speaking of, Klaus!
He said reliably disappointing.
In accordance with the scientific method, I cannot rule out land snails just by one section of land alone. I shall move to the left again, here, and search this plot of land. With my vastly superior intelligence, I roll a natural 1.
Klaus, you believe you have spotted a dimensional snail.
Aha!
You can try to snag it on your next turn.
These
Brandon
fools
Thighmaster.
didn't believe in me.
He's going to try and grab the snail and is just going to end up putting his thumb directly in his asshole. That's my prediction. See how that goes.
I would recognize that slime anywhere.
Just don't roll a natural 1, because otherwise you might put his thumb up your asshole.
Oh, God. Well, that's... Okay, really hoping this sleight of hand goes well now.
I really thought you were saying he was going to thumb a snail's asshole.
Oh, shit. Natural 1 on the sleight of hand.
All right, Drew, you're at a crossroads here. You've just made a proposition.
Okay, well, so Brandon Thighmaster, in just thinking about, he's like, I bet Klaus is gonna jam his finger in his butthole, and that just for some reason makes you lose focus as you realize you're about to slam your fist into the snail's butthole, and you do, and you obliterate that snail.
That is an easy mistake to make.
You kill that thing butthole first. And I'm gonna need 3 d6s.
All right.
If you get any repeats, roll again.
Okay, let's see how this goes. I can't help but thinking I deserve something terrible here. All right.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'm happy I'm not in the space with the stupid people over there.
6, 4, and 5.
Oh, okay. First off, you are struck by a wave of prismatic energy for 5 damage, and your body feels cold. And then you see a kind of shimmer as an alternate Brandon Thoughtmaster steps in again, but this time something about it kind of rips open your eyes and you see the actual dimensional forces at work kind of playing around. And roll me a D2.
D2.
This is
D2.
a Brandon whose fist has not been up a snail's asshole.
A 1.
All right, you'll be stunned for 1 round. So your next turn, you'll be stunned as a Brandon Thighmaster who is dressed from head to toe in fine silken attire steps into existence. Rather than the
fuck?
near nudity you are accustomed to, this one is the height of fashion. He looks around and kind of distastefully peers at the water. You notice it's not touching his stuff. And he kind of looks Brandon up and down. Ah, another of those.
What up, Brandon Threadmaster?
What the fuck is going on here? How do I even notice it's Brandon Thighmaster? By his face? Like an idiot?
Oh, he's still jacked. The tailored suit still shows off the physique underneath.
That could be anything, Drew. That could be a muscle suit.
It could be.
Imposter.
Maybe it's part of the clothes, but you still recognize your own chiseled physique when it's appeared to you.
Oh, I wish I hadn't fisted that snail.
I mean, how many times have we all said that?
Put it on a fucking throw pillow, am I right? Oh, that's actually not a bad t-shirt. Fandingo, you're up.
Well, since I'm right back where I started, I guess I will use my movement to go over here next to this pile of shiny rocks, because there was a snail next to the last shiny rocks. And then I'll try to perceive another snail.
All right, roll me a perception.
24.
Oh, you absolutely spot a stable dimensional snail.
Hey guys, I found one. I'm gonna try not to squish this one.
Yeah. I got a tip for you. Don't put your fist directly into its asshole.
That just seems like a good
What a
rule
way to
for
die.
life.
Before it died, you saw the ring, Brandon. All right, Silas, you're up.
Before it died, he tried to wear it like a ring.
Oh, God.
Well, before I do my sleight of hand, turn to better dressed Brandon and be like, word of advice, don't shake this guy's hand. And then, sleight of hand 21.
You have successfully pocketed another snail.
See, that's what happens when you don't jam your whole arm up its ass.
All right, noted.
Tarek still thinks you're an asshole.
He did what to a snail now?
It was
Well-
a simple lapse of concentration.
Shut up, you're stunned.
Yeah. What Brandon says is,
Which is still valid.
as eloquent as I expected.
If snails could scream.
Fine, these old the Brandons, they're such dicks.
All right, Gordon, you're up. Let's try that perception again with advantage. And a 15. Well, that doesn't do jack diddly. All right, Klaus. You have a snail that you believe you have successfully found.
Having successfully found a snail, what shall I do? Hello?
I don't know. That's what we're waiting to find
I
out.
want to catch it.
All right.
What do I do?
Roll me a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. All right. Natural 20.
Excellent. All right, Klaus. You successfully pick up several what appear to be snails to your eyes and attempt to stow them in the magical pouch, only to find that the pouch spits them right back into your hand.
Yeah, it's the pouch.
After all these
Is it a
years, the
pouch?
fact that you've damaged your sack surprises no one.
I was so prepared to have you hurt yourself in that, but I can't with a nat 20. You pulled out of the nat 1 spiral. All right. Brandon Thighmaster, you are stunned for this round, so you kind of just drool and babble as the aptly dubbed Brandon Threadmaster begins to shimmer away. Oh, thank heavens. This detour is almost over.
Bitch.
All right, Fendingo. One sleight of hand, and you can have the final snail.
Wow, that sounds a lot less appealing than almost anything, but I'll try it anyhow. Or I could roll a 6 and just kind of splash around in the water a little bit.
All right, with a 6, you grab for the snail and stab yourself on its shell. Roll me a d6. Let's see what happens.
Guys, I hate this cave. 1.
Well, the good news is it's one you're familiar with, as you have just enough time to recognize the familiar sensation of teleportation yanking you up toward the ceiling as you appear 10 feet above and fall down, taking 3 damage.
Guys, I really hate this cave.
I'm kind of liking it.
You're an idiot, though.
And apparently you don't rock as hard as that other Fandingo.
An idiot who is up in initiative.
I'm gonna shit in your boots when we sleep tonight. Just saying.
All right.
And then I'm gonna blame it on Klaus, and you'll believe me.
I mean, I feel like you just might have to wait for Klaus to finish shitting before you get to shit in the booth. There's gonna be a line.
Another 22 perception.
Goddamn. All right, you spot a dimensional snail. Apparently, this area is fucking littered with them.
I was gonna say, I'm like Snailus Kane.
Gordon will attempt to pitch in again with a 24. All right, so more than one bite at the snail-shaped apple. Oh, that's horrifying. Klaus, you're up.
Well, these snails suck. But I'm getting closer. The scientific method is doing well. I shall move up 1 space and search for more snails on the land.
Land snails.
All right. 10.
You do not see any more snails.
All right, well, guys, I'm ruling out piece by piece here. You're welcome.
This is why the scientific method is shit.
All right. Brandon Thighmaster.
Okay, let's try this again. Perception time.
You will have to find a new snail since you murdered the last one.
Yeah.
Is Brandon Pantmaster still here?
No, he faded away. They only last for one round.
Ah,
Yeah, just OG Brandon Firemaster. Rolling a 14 perception.
Perhaps the rest of the snails are hiding from you after what you did, and can you blame them?
Not at all. You better hide. Oh, no, wait, I need them.
All right, Fandango, you didn't murder your snail, so you can try again.
Okay, I was going to ask if I lost sight of the snail when I fell or landed on the goddamn thing or what. So, 17 good?
Yes, you successfully snare the snail.
Hey guys, I got one. The fuck do I do with it now? Does it go in this pouch?
Yeah, someone stuck a fancy pouch with the word label 4 snails on it. But it's written like the number 4, so maybe Bjorg.
Do not eat.
I only have 1 snail in my 4 snails pouch. Do I have to stay here till we get 4 snails in every pouch? Because that's going to suck.
Well, you might get 3 on just this round. Silas Kane, what would you like to do?
well, pick up my snail. 24.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you have effortlessly snagged a snail. And Gordon will attempt to do that as well. Without advantage. And a 21. So, man. When it rains snails, it pours snails. Jesus Christ, what a horrifying world that would be.
Yeah, I'm really glad that's not how the saying actually goes.
Snails are good.
Imagine that was the song. It's raining snails, hallelujah.
I mean, I'm sure someone made that parody somewhere.
If not, they will now.
Yeah, fucking internet, man. It all exists somewhere.
Listen, my wife makes this dish with sea snails, and those, you get them in a can. It costs like fucking $8 a can. If it was raining snails, we'd be eating like kings.
Well, no wonder. Have you seen how hard it is to catch them?
Yeah.
all these guys trying to can your snails instead, shoving their fists up their assholes.
Every few minutes, a better version of them walks through the line and shit talks.
I feel like now, can your snail is a euphemism for something disgusting.
I mean, it probably was before.
Can you imagine if that's your job? Every so often you look up and there's another you there going, yeah, I went to dental school like mom wanted.
Oh, this is if I'd started drinking. Whoo, bullet dodged, right?
All right, we got enough snails. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Well, Klaus, it is your turn.
Oh, I've tried land. I've tried sea. Now I'll move to the right and try both.
Coastal snails.
That's
I thought
right.
you were just going to start hovering. I will find snails of the ether.
Air snails.
Pouch was a 12.
No coastal snails for you, good sir.
Man, are there any snails anywhere?
Yeah, all in our bag. We caught them all.
I'm going to dust the dead snails off my fists and say, no, probably not.
It is Brandon's turn if he had any final actions.
Did I hear somebody say that we've collected enough snails?
You did. I believe Silas just said that.
Okay, well, I'm going to use my monk speed to get the fuck out of this cave. As fast as possible. All right, snails collected. Let's never speak of this again.
I thought this would be easier than combat, but I think y'all might have hated it more.
We have
Good
spells
snails.
for combat. It's really frowned upon me setting Bjorg on fire while hunting snails.
Fairy fire helped a good deal.
I definitely fought the snails. It wasn't supposed to.
And won. You were victorious.
I don't feel victorious. Let's leave the cave.
All right. Let me adjust our map.
Somebody grabbed a bucket berry.
He totters along after you. At this point, I just think y'all don't even question why the bucket people can find their way. They can.
No, best not to question.
It's a magic bucket. Duh.
I question it because I am a vastly more intelligent person than the rest of these people. It is my place to question.
Low bar, Klaus. Low bar.
But I'll go along with this, yes.
Yeah. Feel free to interrogate the bucket. I will not be standing next to you.
It's simply a academic exercise in my mind.
All right,
Okay.
you go fist the bucket. You wake up you hatch Tor egg.
I was just picturing Bob taking a long drag off a cigarette and looking. So, Mr. Bucket, you're the one. I don't know if anybody else got that.
If you just keep the academic exercise in your head, then it can't hurt anyone else.
Wasn't that like a jingle for a kids toy?
That it was, Rick. That was. I'm glad
Mr.
someone
Bucket.
got it.
Put your ball to my mouth.
Oh my
or something
God.
like that.
Yeah, I purposely didn't let my voice in clippable form say that.
What toys were your uncle buying you?
You know, Rick, we put a little clip of what the characters say at the end of every episode. But I'm just going to put that one on there now.
Uh-huh.
That might be my new text tone.
This is what we get for thinking too deeply about the bucket. Everyone move on.
You can all make your way back up the cave to the lair of Dr. Flivius Ponch. He is waiting for you very excitedly as you all approach.
Hey, I remember this dude from before I wore a bucket. Sup, little guy?
What is up? What is up? As you did excellent work, all of you. I'm so proud.
Of course we did. We're awesome.
You're welcome, my mental equivalent.
That's rude. Jesus, Klaus.
By my calculations, this evening there should be a dimensional storm rolling through of sufficient density to collect the energy we need.
All right. What does that mean for us?
Klaus, are those numbers check out with you, buddy?
Yeah, I was going to ask, would you like me to run those calculations by my own measurements?
Oh, I definitely think you should, yeah.
No, it took me quite a while to scrub away the last of your input. He said he will let you know. I need approximately 3 hours to construct the artificial rods for collecting energy out of the snail shells. So, if you all could relax, prepare yourselves, gather your mental willpower to go out and brave the storm, because it's going to be a rough one. It's going to be a rough one.
I say 3 hours.
So basically, right now you guys have time to do a short rest, as well as stock up on any general supplies, make preparations. The store has, basics, nothing too fancy or enchanted, but if you need rations, water, arrows, etc., you can top off.
All right, I'm going to broaden my mind a little bit. I'm going to break out my gnome porn, but I'm going to read the articles.
Oh. This is character growth, everybody.
What happened to you, dude?
Well, I still need a short rest.
You may peruse your porn while short resting.
Is that why you're going for the gnome porn? Because it's a short rest?
Ba-bum.
Haha.
Look, I do my best, fuck you.
All right, I will take a short rest and get a
Silas
hit
is
points back.
spending hit dice to
Yeah.
regain hit points, a thing that any of you could also do.
Yep, I'm just gonna spend one hit die.
I've also done that.
I cannot, for I have no need.
Like you guys don't use them very often, so I think by this point you're all topped off after your long rests.
I mean, there were no traps, so there was nothing for Klaus to hurt himself with.
And he steadily avoided the only thing that did damage, which was the snails.
I'm too smart for my own good.
Maybe he really is getting smarter.
His subconscious was keeping him safe.
Some part of his brain just thought, maybe don't get involved with the bullshit.
Is this dumb?
Wait a minute, have I made some bad life choices?
Who are these fucking people?
This is why we can't let him get sober.
Okay, so did anyone else have anything they wanted to do aside from deface the map with egg graffiti, which you can see if you're watching us on YouTube?
No. Yeah, I took a short rest. I got exactly the amount of hit points I needed to be perfect again, so I feel good.
I feel good with my graffiti as well.
All right.
I'm still trying to figure out how to do it. But, go ahead. Don't let me hold up the game.
Well, there's not much left. As you all finish, he hands you each a long, thin, it feels like metal, but it also kind of feels like snail shell rod.
I know something else that feels that way.
Oh, no.
Basically tells you you need to go up to the mountain. He gives you a route up to the mountaintop where the storm will be raging, and set up the rods around Brand Egg. They will draw in the energy and conduct it and hopefully hatch it. But he also warns you it will be incredibly dangerous while you're up there. Just cannot overstate that enough.
Luckily, we have somebody who's an expert in handling rods. Klaus, do you want to be honest?
No problem. I got it.
Well, he hands one rod to each of you. What you do from there is up to your characters.
I'm going to give my rod to Klaus.
Same. His entire life is built to this moment.
Oh, please. You know, when you worship Tor, excuse me, getting hit by lightning is a slow Tuesday.
Dimensional lightning. Can't emphasize that enough.
Even better.
I would be happy to handle all your rods.
Well, as long as you're not carrying anything of heavy dimensional resonance, you should be fine.
Anything of what?
You know, heavy dimensional resonance. Anything the lightning could say bond with.
What kind of things have heavy dimensional resonance?
Powerful magical items, things like that.
Can we drill down on what? On powerful?
Well, I've never actually gotten to experiment with dimensional lightning. This is all gathered from survivor accounts.
All right.
Do you mean corpses?
No, I mean the people who fled and gathered the corpses afterward.
Well, that's slightly more reassuring. Cool. Let's adventure, guys.
I am quite okay with this.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go.
All right, you all set off to gather the dimensional lightning in hopes of hatching your egg. And how that plays out is something that we will find out at Authors and Dragons Con, motherfuckers.
Dum dum dum.
Snap.
So, as you know, we are not done for the night. Aside from that obvious plug for the con, we have a live blog that goes over on the Facebook where we gather questions, and then we, of course, have the questions from our Discord, which is associated with our Patreon, patreon.com/authorsanddragons. So, let's see what the people are asking. Rick?
Well, our friend Zach of All Trades asks a rather timely question. If we are buying you drinks at a bar, what would you like us to buy you?
Angry balls. The bartenders know what I'm talking about.
I hope so.
Is that like a drink? Because there's like these little buzz balls thing I see at the liquor store sometimes, and I don't know
No.
if you're just being real specific and that's a brand.
No, it's a drink. You
Okay.
get a pint glass. You get an American pint glass. I guess you could do it with an English pint glass too. You get a
Yeah.
pint glass and you pour a shot of Fireball in the bottom, and then you pour a bottle of Angry Orchard on top of it.
Oh,
and
that does sound good.
It's fantastic, and it tastes like Atomic Fireballs.
It has a funny
Yeah.
name.
For a winter treat, one thing I've done is just take a bottle of cider, like non-alcoholic cider, like, family cider, and then dump half a bottle of Fireball in that bad boy, and you put it in a slow cooker on low, and it keeps it kind of like nice and warm. Oh, that shit's delicious.
But unlikely to be at a con.
Yeah, sorry. Now we're just trading recipes. That's a good one, John.
My
Friend
lips
of
are
mine.
not averse to touching a buttery nipple.
Oh no.
Oh,
Let's
God.
not make the bartender involved in any kind of sex crime. That's just perceived or otherwise.
Listen, you asked a question, I gave an answer.
Let's
I
see
like
how
to
the
drink.
service is on Friday and Saturday before we decide whether or not we want to have the bartender accused of sex crimes.
Let's see. So for my drink of choice, weed, but probably not going to have that one on tap. So I'd say a cider.
A pint of weed, please, bartender.
Oh my God, a pint glass full. I mean, that would be a weekend. God damn.
I don't know. I'm an expensive and difficult date, so I'm gonna say if you're there, pull out the blender and make me a frozen banana daiquiri.
God, we're really giving this barman some shit.
I mean, he hates you now, and I'm with the barman.
Yeah. Yeah, you're with the barman drinking your pint of weed. I will have. If it looks like a fantasy dwarf would drink it, I'll have it. Thank you.
I think that's everybody because we don't have Joe.
That's right, yeah. I was waiting on Joe there, but he's not. He's bucketed.
I'm rolling up my new character, a fantasy dwarf who enjoys drinking liquid shit.
Oh God.
All right, but don't listen to Rick though. Just maybe listen to Tolkien. I'm not saying they're not equal writing talents, but one of them doesn't want me to drink liquid shit. So
I mean,
go
I
with
don't know that Tolkien doesn't want you to drink liquid shit.
Well, he's dead, Drew, so I'm going to put words in his
pull out
mouth.
the Ouija board for that one. And man, that would be awesome if it just spelled out drink shit.
I'm
Think he's-
assuming
drink it.
Tolkien didn't have a grudge against me. I might. Realistically, he might. Let's just get me a beer, all right?
Depends on the afterlife. You might want every living person to drink a glass of shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're up in, I guess, either afterlife, if you're just looking at the world, eventually you're just going to, you know what? All you guys can drink a pint of shit.
Oh yeah, you might be sitting there going, I haven't tasted anything in 100 years. I would kill for a glass of shit. Okay, now that we're spitting on Tolkien's Ghost, let's move on here to our friend Kyle the Goof asks, when writing a series, how much of the overarching story do you know in book one? And do you have an idea in the beginning how long the series is going to be?
I didn't know how book one was going to end.
I have a feeling we are going to disappoint some listeners with these answers. I've never written a book knowing that it was going to be a series, so I have no goddamn idea most of the time. I've always written a book, and if it sold well, I wrote another one with the same people.
Ditto. Except
I-
mine is all well enough.
I did end book one knowing, like, with the idea that it could have a book two. And by the time I got around to book, around five, I started getting some ideas. Well, I knew, just because of the nature of the cover with the sides of the dice, that I was going to go on to book 20. And I started forming ideas of how the series was going to end. So I've got a rough idea on that, if that answers the question. But yeah, when I was writing book one, no, I didn't know it was going to be a series. I didn't know how it was going to end until like 2/3 the way through it.
Yeah, I always write a book one of a series to be a standalone just in case it doesn't. But I mean, it's usually minimal book two, maybe book three before I have any idea where it's going or the series is going.
Yeah, in my early ones, I definitely didn't always know it was going to be a series. Like NPCs, I kind of wrote as a standalone. But Superpowers, I kind of said at the outset it was obviously going to be a series because I did the year one thing. I typically have some end game in mind, not written down to the final detail, and it absolutely can and has changed in the process of it. But I typically like to know what I'm writing toward in a general sense, even if it's super far off.
Wait, you mean, Drew, if you're working on a long-running series and you realize that one of your best friends just published the end of a long-running series using the same method for destroying all vampires that you were thinking about using for the end of your series, that you
Oh,
would change
Jesus
that shit?
Christ.
I suppose I might.
Although at this point, I'm so goddamn slow, it's been long enough since Rick's book 8 came out that I could do the same shit and nobody would remember.
You're probably right. If people are reading him going, "Hey, this seems kind of familiar. I have no idea where the fuck I read it, though.
Did I see that on TV, maybe? Did they do that on True Blood?
They fucking did it on True Blood.
Oh, they definitely did it on True Blood.
They did it a lot on True. Oh wait, we're on a different topic now.
All right. Our friend Zach of all trades asks, "What is the favorite? What is the favorite trip you've ever taken? Not favorite place you've ever been to, but the journey."
Oh, the journey. Fuck.
I have to say, not coming back because fuck Kansas, but the trip to A&D Con 2019 to Vegas, like doing my asshole across America trip to Vegas. It was kind of scary being alone, but it was also a lot of fun just seeing all this stuff I haven't seen before.
Mine's probably a journey within a trip. Going up Mount Etna. The trip up Mount Etna with the tour group I was on, because it was a whole tour group of people from the industry I was in. I knew a lot of them. They were all fun. We were all hungover as shit. And then, it's gorgeous up there. And we got to go places that don't exist anymore because it's still an active volcano, so shit erupted and destroyed the place where we had lunch.
Damn.
Yeah. I have pictures of my wife standing in a crater on the side of Mount Etna that spewed lava a few years ago.
Ooh.
So that was probably my favorite journey, was going up and poking around on Mount Etna.
For Journey, I'm gonna say I went to Washington with some friends a few years ago, and we like landed in Seattle, and we drove out to Mount Rainier, somewhere around there, to do some hiking. And the drive from Seattle to there was very nice, both because it was scenic, it was enjoyable, and I didn't have to do it, so I took some edibles. So I just got to really space out, enjoy nature, and chat with my friends for a few hours.
We drove up to New York a couple years ago for Christmas, and family and I. And along the way, about I guess halfway through maybe, we stopped in Richmond, Virginia, where I used to live. I went to high school and college there. And we stopped for dinner at the place I used to go for Italian subs. Was it Pizzaro's? No, oh man, I wish I could remember the name. So it's an Italian name that starts with a P. Anyways, the subs were not only delicious, but they tasted like, I haven't had this in like 20 years. Exactly the same. Like giving me sense memories, and that was wonderful. And then also, along the way, at a rest stop, somebody recognized me. I don't know if that was coincidence or a creepy stalker, or a very imaginatively creepy stalker, but that was cool too. Yeah, that's mine.
It's like, and then I met him at every rest stop afterward.
I remember being going to a download festival once, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I was carrying everything because I'm a big macho man, and the bag was huge. I'd also figured out that rather than trying to carry a load of beer, I could just maybe drink cheap fizzy wine if I poured enough bottles into a 5-liter water container. So I thought that I'd just start drinking that as we went along. And it was a lovely day, and it was a really great atmosphere, but the queue to get in was fucking massive. So I was having a great time drinking from this 5-liter jug of fizzy wine. And we were supposed to meet with my friends when we got there. and I had to ring him about we was not that close, but I was like, guys, I can't walk. This has been great, but I need something to come and carry me for the remainder of to getting to the tent, because I have drank maybe like 3 liters of wine, and that was like a really good trip. You know, it was
Not for the
fun.
person who had to carry you.
I was talking to people. I was making friends with strangers. I was impressing my girlfriend with both my lifting capability and my wine drinking capability, and my, the ability to recognize when I needed help. And yeah, it was fun. It was a nice little trip. I rode a bus.
Well, why don't we move over to the Facebook?
Excellent idea.
Because we have a really good question there, and a really timely one, too. Our friend Nelson asks, is there any last-minute advice for first-time con-goers?
Somebody
money.
asked this I think in the Facebook group, but since not everyone who
The same person.
listens is in the Facebook group, we'll answer it here too, because as we discussed at the beginning of this episode, we have listeners who don't know yet that we're throwing a convention August 19th through 21 at the University Hilton in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tickets available at authorsanddragons.com. One of the things that we have added this year that I think will be helpful to a lot of our listeners is we've got a chill room. It's kind of a low stem room with lower lighting, nothing programmed in that room, just some tables, some chairs, and hopefully a place for people to go in, and when things become overwhelming, just kind of go in there and hide for a few minutes, and maybe not have to retreat all the way back to their hotel room. There are other rooms for gaming, so, and there are plenty of other spaces to buy books, so people should be able to use this room just as an escape, as a low stem kind of place to have quiet conversation or just catch their breath for a minute. So pay attention to that, and use it if you need it.
My advice is, like, if you have one of those 1 gallon of water, you can pour the water out and you can fill that with whatever you like. No one will try to stop you.
I mean,
So
wait, there will be bathrooms, right?
God, I hope
Okay.
so.
I don't know what
If
Steve's
not,
trying
we're
to
going to
get
be putting
at.
on a different kind of show real fast.
There are
So-
2 reasons to carry with you a gallon bottle of something at any time.
And if you drink a gallon of water, I know one reason you'll need one.
Yeah, it's recycling.
So the opposite of, I guess, a bit of the opposite of what John said. So starting last year, we kind of started talking to people and realizing that we have a lot of listeners and and readers who are introverts, and we were just just giving the hint that, hey, if you see somebody sitting off by themselves, invite them in to the circle. And we tried to do that last year with a lot of people. We'd get up early, we'd hang out in the common area and be like, hey, don't sit there by yourself. And we kind of also spread that this year. So, and people kind of take that to heart. So I think even if you're a first time congo and you're nervous about what you're doing, if you just show up in the area, you're probably going to see some people saying, waving you over and saying, hey, come and join us. And and hopefully they won't stuff you in a windowless van and you'll never be seen by your loved ones again. Hopefully, but I can't make any promises to that one.
Yeah, I will be wearing some homeless people disguises and testing you on this. So,
Well, one thing I think folks should know about, whether they be a A&D Con veteran or a first timer, is that we have scheduled signing blocks for the first time. So we know that it's been hard hunting us down at different times when we're all kind of running around trying to keep very many plates in the air. But this year we're going to have scheduled dedicated blocks of time where you can come find us, where you can get your book signed, or your cards, or whatever you want. We're very relaxed about that kind of thing. We've got fancy Sharpies that can write on goddamn near anything. So,
Tits.
bring it around. We'll sign it. And the schedule for that will be released before A&D Con, along with our official schedule of events, which might be out already.
Well, this is going to be
We released the schedule of events on July 1, as promised,
That's right.
because people gave me a lot of shit for not releasing the schedule early last year. So
I mean, a month, 2 months in advance is fucking crazy by con standards. To give y'all some behind the scenes as a con attendee, 2 months before a con is fucking crazy. That's so much time.
to give y'all some con attendee behind the scenes, Dragon Con is in 3 weeks, and we got our schedules yesterday.
Tentative schedules.
Oh yeah,
Tentative.
tentative schedules.
Yeah.
now, mind you, we didn't get it up onto our website until yesterday, so we might lose a few points there. But
I mean, I would also say to Dragon Con, 3 weeks, still really good.
Yeah,
I've gotten that shit like days before.
I've sent it out days before.
that said, if you're listening to this episode, it is roughly 2 days before A&D Con, so we haven't posted it. Oh fuck it, you're already there, so just ask us.
We will post the signing schedule at some point, at least at A&D Con. I'm pretty sure it'll go up before then because I think we've all signed off on it, so there's no real reason to hide it back.
But
We're not
also
your
gonna
mum.
tape
Figure
it
it
to
out,
the table.
right?
Yes. So, but the general point is we will be much easier to find to get things signed. We have
Oh, and I will point out, because one person did ask this on in one of the chats. If you don't catch us at the signing, yes, we will still sign stuff elsewhere. That's not just like a one shot. You miss us, we're never going to sign anything for you.
Yeah, that it's just we will definitely be here for this chunk of time thing. That said, we might be harder to find outside of that time because it's our con. We're in it a lot. We're running a lot. We're running around a lot.
I'll be
That
in
said-
the bookstore.
Yeah. That said, if you see us sitting there at the signing thing, at least come up and hang out with us, so we don't look like the lonely people we are.
I'll be pretty easy to find.
Of bullshit.
Just lying at the bottom of an escalator.
Oh my God! Well, that was the number one question of, I think, A&D Con Nashville is where'd Bob go? He was just here.
But I'm always somewhere else.
I'm gonna slip an Apple AirTag in your back pocket.
Bob is the living embodiment of wherever you go, there you are.
I'm always in a location. What do you want from me?
Our friend Matthew asks, hard cider or wine collars?
Coolers?
Yeah,
I'm guessing?
I hope coolers, because I was like, what the fuck's a wine collar?
So first of all, they
something
don't
you can wear around
actually
your
make.
neck and sip.
I literally just watched a How to Drink about this like 2 days ago. They don't really make wine coolers as they existed in their heyday, the 80s and early 90s. The taxing on them got altered, and it made them basically impossible to turn a profit on. So that's why everything switched over to malt beverages, your Zimas, your Mikes, etc. The quote-unquote wine coolers we have nowadays are usually pretty differently configured than their classic vintage.
Yeah.
It's like Seagram's weird colory soda shit.
Yeah, I remember when the Bacardi Breezers came out and actually had Bacardi in them, and damn, they were good. And then they changed them, and they were less good.
Well, if you want to fashion some kind of, like airplane cushion that is filled with wine somehow, then please do.
I'm like a beer backpack.
I do like a light wine. There's a jug wine called Carlo Rossi, and they make like a sweet Moscato, or I think they changed it to summertime Moscato now, and it tastes like alcoholic Capri Sun, and it is fucking amazing on a hot day.
Carlo Rossi, a.k.a. Jug O Wine.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great value and a great flavor.
Not sure.
I got no shame.
Not sure I'd want to wear it around my neck as a collar. That might, sink you to the bottom of the pool.
You're trying to play slap the bag with a jug.
Yeah, I think I'll go with wine collars too.
Or it could be like, like one of those dog collars, like You get to zap somebody every time they whine.
Make a lot of ants real angry.
Well, maybe it's not coolers that's misspelled. Maybe it's wine. Maybe it just means like every time you're bitching and moaning, you just get a zap.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, let me know where to buy those. I have some authors.
All right. Our friend Mark asks, what is the first con-related thing you're going to do when you get to Charlotte? And yes, John, I know you're already there, so I assume he means the hotel.
Are we just assuming the obvious check-in is skipped over?
It's not really a con-related thing.
It's the con hotel.
I mean, technically, we could we could camp out in in the parking lot.
I mean, I think it will either be some setup work that I know we have planned, or probably beer run is going to be early up on there too. I know us; we tend to do a beer run pretty early on.
Drew, I
I'll
thought we
bring
should
my
just
beer
carry
with
on
me.
being really pedantic about this. So the first thing I'm going to do is arrive in America.
I got a 9-hour drive, so I think the first con-related thing I'm going to do is after checking in is get something to eat. And I'm into the bathroom.
I'm going to check and make sure that everybody's reservations are dealt with and give them the credit card to cover the rooms for the guests and cry as we spend money because I'm a cheap shit.
Like a wet hairdryer out there, so I might just, as soon as I'm checked in, just go cannonball the pool.
Ooh, pool's a good one. I don't know how con related. Well, we got to get that base tan for the fans.
Yeah,
got to keep up the appearances.
exactly.
No the fans demand no tan lines.
I mean, Rick, you're from the home of GTL. That almost feels mean to bring up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say pee and drink a beer, possibly at the same time.
Yeah, we might end up hitting the bar. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of us are gonna circle up, drop our shit off, pee, and then well, I might as well grab a beer.
So yeah, I'll eat.
That's why you bring your beer with you, so you can do it at the same time.
Some of us have to fly, Bob. We can't all smuggle our booze. Except what they serve me on the plane, and I smuggle in my tummy. Oh, let's see.
Across state lines.
How big of that is a drive for you, Bob?
3.5 hours.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, not at all. Which is why I kind of pushed for Charlotte.
And if you're wondering where next year will be, well, you're going to have to stay tuned to Authors and Dragons post this convention and, find out as we move forward. But for this time,
I shall be pushing for my garage.
But for this episode of Authors and Dragons, we are done. We'll be back next week with a side quest, and of course, from this point in time, it will only be 2 days until Authors and Dragons Con, so we'll be seeing some of you soon. Until then, bye!
Bye!
Goodbye, friends.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
Put your ball to my mouth.